You want to go to the Drake thing or the Just Blaze thing? Let's go to the Drake thing.
That's fine.
Let's go to Drake. So, well, first of all, and then we'll go to the Verzuz thing too, because Drake was brought up in the Verzuz sense, and Nori asked, if he would do a Verzuz with Drake, and he said, yeah, and he said he would smoke him. Obviously, he would smoke him. I don't know why anybody thinks otherwise. Does anybody in the room think that Drake would beat Kanye West in a Verzuz?
Nobody thinks that. Nobody.
But my thing with the whole Drake thing is, and I guess there's so many different dimensions to this conversation. It feels like the industry built Drake up to be Kanye's replacement. And it kind of reminds me of, let's just say, Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. I think that they felt like Kanye would just step aside. Kanye ain't trying to go nowhere.
Who in their right mind, Mike, who in their right mind has seen or heard Kanye thought that there was any chance of that happening?
Or they thought they could control the climate. Because I personally think, and this kind of goes back to our conversation last episode, I don't think Kanye was a part of the plan. Kanye snuck in the game. And they have no way of getting him out. Like, when they got 50 Cent in the game, they knew how to get 50 out. But with Kanye, he snuck in here, man. And before they knew it, he was the biggest thing around. And they can't get rid of him. And I think Drake was their way of trying to get rid of him. And since it's not happening organically, it seems like they're sending Drake at him. Because I don't understand what the beef is. If anything, you should have a beef with Pusha T. And you ain't responding to that, but you still want to poke at Kanye? I don't understand.
You don't want that Pusha T smoke. You already know.
Clearly he don't want the Pusha T smoke. He let that go. Kanye sitting here courtside or ringside or whatever with Jay Prince, and you're still going at Kanye? Like, what's the problem exactly?
It feels very made for TV.
It is. And it's like no one's falling for it anymore, man. And it's like, is this where Drake is in his career, where obviously he's going to do numbers, but for credibility, you want to continuously attach yourself to Kanye? Because he did say Donda was pushing Certified Lover Boy's date back, and it is interesting when Donda had a date, then shoot, days later, we actually got a date for Certified Lover Boy.
It's very honest.
And it just seems like, some single white female type stuff going on with Drake and Kanye. They're trying to make it seem like this is a back and forth, but it seems like Drake is slightly obsessed with Kanye. What do you think?
So you said something very key. Kanye snuck in the game. So he kind of laid out some new blueprint plans of sorts.
Yeah.
And so him sneaking in and then becoming as successful as he did, as fast as he did, because Kanye became very, very big, very, very fast.
Blueprint, pun intended.
Yeah, Mike, I was actually thinking about Threat off the Black Album, where you talk about lay out blueprint plans on you. Yeah, that's Ye.
Yeah,
that's what Ye really has done for this generation. He's laid out blueprint plans for people, and so Drake is the recipient of that.
He alluded to that too with the Thanos.
And so he's also, it's kind of like he's the most viable person in the eyes of the machine. But I think what the machine keeps missing, and Drake's part of the machine, so I'm including him in this, is like, oh, well, you kind of didn't sneak in on your own the way Ye did, so you can't move that way. No. Get what I'm saying? You'll never be able to move that way.
Well, I mean, I feel like Kanye created the lane that Drake rides on. Like, even Drake's whole career is kind of 808s and heartbreaks-ish. Even the So Far Gone clearly was a reflection of 808s and heartbreaks in the times, right? And just that whole notion of being able to do like some melodic singing but not really singing and still be considered a rapper. And I know a lot of people will be like, well, Andre 3000 with Love Below, no, that's different. That's years and years before that. And it's not even in the same vein. It was a direct reflection. So Far Gone was a direct reflection of what Kanye was doing on 808s and Heartbreaks.
No, I agree.
I mean, he even sampled some of the records. You know what I'm saying? Like, Yeah, say you will.
When he spoke to the whole thing about Sade singing, that's what I mean. It's like, oh no, he's ahead, like, because you couldn't sum Drake up any better than that. It's like, yeah, it's like our rap shit, but like, Sade on the hook, with it, like, kind of is how he broke it down.
Damian
And
Frederick brought up something that I want to address because it's even more confusing. He said Drake admits that Ye is his favorite artist. And
very
that's the thing. It's like, if you understand that this man created the lane for you, and he's your favorite artist and all that stuff, where's the real problem? Why are you even going back and forth? And you understand what this man means to the culture too. Like, what's the beef? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you even going back and forth with somebody that clearly created the lane for you? You don't have no real, like, personal, real problems that we know of like that. Like, what's the issue? Why is this even a thing?
why is it a thing?
It seems to be just for sales, honestly. That's what it comes across as.
Right. And really, if y'all want to do something just for sale, y'all need to get together and do some work because I didn't care for either one of your projects that much. How about that?
No, for real. I mean, I
For real.
understand the lane that Donda was in and all that, but the fact that you out here, and Kanye said something like, he said you leaked a song that, was better than everything that was on your project.
That's that truth hurting.
What are we doing? You know? He's being honest, man. But like I said, man, I don't know. I don't know where the end game is, though. What's the end game? What's the back and forth?
No, right. So he was pretty much saying, no, this made for TV. Like, I text this fool. Like, like, what up?
Well, Deontay Smith says his issue with Kanye is because of Pusha T. I don't know if that's the truth because even with Duppy freestyle, he was going more at Kanye than he was Pusha. And my thing is, if whatever you are in rap, or you supposed to be running the game and all that, go and Pusha T. What's the problem?
That's what I'm saying. So he can't use that as an excuse. And so you spoke to something, Mike. You and I, we've known each other for a very long time. We know a lot of the same people. I guarantee you that in our circle of people that we know, there are people who get down with you that do not get down with me. If I bet you, like, they don't be like, oh, I'm not going to support Mike and according to hip hop because I don't really get down with Coop. You get what I'm saying?
No, I feel you. That's childish.
That's childish. And so I'm saying that to say that it's like, the behavior of a lot of this is childish, but that happens in rap. Like, that happens. That happens with grown men in hip hop. But,
Well, I liked his whole Tyson and Holyfield analogy when he's like, y'all not seeing what this man's doing behind the scenes. Y'all just seeing my reaction to it.
Right.
Like, that whole checks over stripes and all that stuff. Like, I mean, I get it.
When he brought that up and like the whole birthday party thing with his kids having to hear it and stuff, that's what I mean is like, and here was my real takeaway from everybody that he talked about in there. It's like, man, Ye kind of boxed all y'all in and didn't leave much of y'all room to say shit back that's going to resonate. Like, he hit everybody hard that he spoke about. Like, from a perspective of like, well, what are you going to say to that? Because the honesty and the candidness and the reality of it was just striking and coming through, Mike. And it's like, you can't defeat the truth.
Whether y'all like Kanye or not, and I'm seeing a lot in the comments where, it's all over the place. What I do appreciate is the fact that we have a person that, whether you agree with them or not, is being honest in this industry. It's an industry of a lot of phoniness and fakeness and people saying all the right things that everybody wants to hear. It's refreshing to actually hear somebody this big and this responsible for so much that's going on being completely honest.
Mike, it was an honest talk about how he felt about artists, about music, about politics, about himself. Like, when he was talking about not liking the nanny and the publicist and stuff, I'm like, oh, he's like, so you want to know what? You talk about how, like, T.I. is great at seizing the moment on the track. Like, he knows where he is and what the moment calls for. Well, Ye just knows that in life at this point because he realized that if he delivered well on this, it was going to be a moment, and it is now. And like, he delivered, like, he let it fly and delivered it to everybody, Mike.
Well,
like, and he did it, and he didn't do it like in some sort of disrespectful sidestepping type of way. It was like in a like this is the truth and the truth is gonna hurt and